So in today's video, we're going to be checking out the AEA R84A. It's an active version of a modern classic for a ribbon mic. We're going to be given some tips on how to use a ribbon mic, and then we're also going to be hearing it on various drum positions too, for overhead, close mic on toms, and even snare, outside kick. This mic really can do it all.
Well, time has a way of throwing all in your face. The past, she is haunted, the future is lace. Heartbreak, you know, drives that big black car, and I swear I was in the backseat, just minding my own. Through the glass, the corn crows fall like rain. They won't stay for too long now. This could be all that we know of love and all. Well, you were a dancer and I was a rag. A song in my head, it was all that.
My name is Ryan Earnhardt from CreativeSoundLab.tv, and today I want to really ease up the tension about using ribbon mics. This is a really robust microphone. It can handle a lot of different things. I mean, we even put it to close mic drums, and it handled it beautifully. It wasn't overloaded. The only thing you don't want to do with a ribbon mic is blow on it. Now, there is passive ribbon mics where you don't want to apply phantom power, and in fact, I've done it, and it doesn't really destroy the mic. You just want to turn off phantom power once again. Just going to cause the ribbon to move in one direction and not relax until you turn off the phantom power. So it's really not too big of a deal as long as you're not doing a patch bay where you're yanking out 1/4-inch cables and you have active phantom power going. So it's really about not blowing in the mic. That's really all you have to worry about. The gain that you get out of this mic is not quite as much as a condenser microphone, but it's a lot more than your typical dynamic mic. Today we're going to be listening to the R84A with the AEA RPQ2. And that has a very gentle 3 dB per octave high-pass filter. It's extremely gentle, and it allows us to slowly roll away the low end. And controlling the low end like this gives us some options for mic placement. We can get a lot closer to the mic, We can turn down the preamp, and then we have a lot less noise, whether that be background noise or just preamp noise from cranking the gain. So in my dialogue tests today, we're going to be using a pop filter. It's really a great thing to have if you are going to be using a ribbon mic for any sort of vocal or dialogue. This is a double screen pop filter, and this is a metal screen pop filter. What I recommend is actually putting it on a separate stand so that if you bump the pop filter, it won't bump the mic. And it also helps you gauge your distance. So if you're 8 inches from the mic, it may be hard to kind of get a feeling for how to consistently stand, away from the mic. However, if you have a pop filter just right past the tip of your nose, it's a lot easier to stay consistent. And that way you don't have fluctuations in tone because you're getting closer or further away from the mic. So let's turn on the R84A and see how it sounds with just my voice. So I've been very impressed. The moment I heard this sound, it just seemed correct to me. And there's something about ribbon mics that they just seem correct. They make it very easy to kind of have a one mic studio. If this were your mic, you could do a whole studio with a mic like this because it's very even keeled. It's not going to paint you into a corner with different tones or overly brightness. It's going to layer very, very well. The cool thing about ribbons is that they are warm. So a lot of people say, well, maybe they're better for the digital domain. This is 10 years ago when people talked about digital versus analog. And, well, we should use more ribbon mics because it's better suited for the digital domain. But it also is very quick. So they can sound detailed, but they do not sound hyped in the high end. And there's a difference. Okay, so for acoustic guitar, this could be fantastic. You can hear the detail in my voice. It's actually really, really nice. And I've noticed that the tonality of this mic is actually very similar to the R88A. It sounds spot on to me for my drum overhead test. Yeah, this is a good distance here. If I talk very carefully, I can do it without the pop filter. Now I'll bring down the pop filter on a separate stand, and it just lets me just kind of hang out at a very consistent distance. And the key thing about ribbon mics, and any mic really, as long as it's not omnidirectional, but if it's cardioid or figure 8, like the ribbon mics are, then it's going to be all about distance. So the tonality of the mic, the EQ, is being done right now. We are mixing right now. So if we want more low end, then we just get a little bit closer. Check 1, 2, hey, hey, and there we go. Now we can turn down the gain. And so we can compensate with a little bit less gain. If we want more high end, then we back away from the mic and we give it a little more gain at the preamp. Okay, so we have a little bit more gain at the preamp and a little bit more balanced tone. Now you'll notice that there's also a ratio happening here. There's a ratio between the room sound and the direct sound. And this is where sound treatment comes into play. The more sound treatment that you have, the greater the sweet spot that you have in your mic placement. So, at some point, the room's just going to take over, okay? So I can really back away from the mic. Oh, this sounds incredible. But I can really back away from the mic, and it still sounds full. Like, that's amazing. What's also amazing about ribbons is, check this out. So I'm talking, and then I can just go right to the side, and I'm just gone. Then I can come right in front of the mic, and bam, right in front of the mic, and then out to the side. Same volume. Isn't that amazing? Okay. So, wow. So it definitely helps. Like, this is a garage, okay? It's not a treated place. And this is where that high pass that I was telling you about comes into play. So, this is a nice balanced sound if we want to do dialogue, but if we want to really dial in the low end, I should really say dial out the room sound, well, we can get closer to the mic. But when we get closer to the mic, then we have a problem with our low end. So we can use a high-pass filter, a sweepable high-pass filter, and we can actually tune the preamp with the mic, with the room. There's 3 things at play here, and we can get our sound. So check this out. I'm going to lower the preamp gain, and I'm going to engage the high-pass filter. Okay, let's see how close I can get to this mic. Check 1, 2. Okay, I can get pretty close to the mic. Very, very close to this mic. And it, if I wanted a really dry sound, this is how I could get it. This is the benefit of a sweepable high-pass filter, is if you want to get really close to a mic, it has a lot of proximity effect, a lot of depth. You can dial in the preamp to kind of, match what you're given from the microphone. So I actually have a trick for you. If you don't have a sweepable high pass, or even any high pass at your preamp, I'm going to give you a little trick here. So I'm going to take off the high pass. So this is just the raw microphone sound. And using a bit of physics, we can actually block the back of the mic with a towel. And you could take maybe a hair band, rubber band, whatever, and you just temporarily put a towel over the back of it, and look what happens. See? So this is with the towel, and this is without the towel, with the towel, and without the towel. So it's physics coming into play here, okay? So that is a little bit of a hack. You could try it. Your mileage may vary on that one. Let's cue up my drum footage with my friend Ted Marks. I'm going to be holding this mic, moving it around. It's just a great way to very quickly survey what this mic can do. Okay, this is a cool test. Check it out. I've been a huge fan of AEA. All of you who know me, you know that this is not just some random plug for the R84A. I've had 2 different versions of the R88, and I've been plugging the R88 just because I love the mic so much ever since I got it, which is in 2009. So I had original serial number 409, and then now I was able to get one of the first active versions. It's actually a prototype, which is super cool. It's got a little red label to it. So anyways, I would love to know your thoughts on this. Do you want me to test this mic on something specific? I would love to know your thoughts. I'll be hanging out in the comments below.